How you guys doing? Making another poem video. This is number 242. So the last one I did was 241. So 242 is happening this morning. So yeah, hope you guys are staying where you are. Hope you are for me, I gotta go in today. So yeah, but where I work at has gotten a 3 hour delay because of the snow coming through. I'm just gonna put it like this. I don't blame a lot of people who would love to get away from New England and just go somewhere warm versus New England being the absolute, state that has to deal with snow as ever. It's getting ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. Every time people hear the word snow, they're like, I gotta get what I need. I gotta get what I got to protect myself. I mean, or else we got going on in the house. I mean, seriously. I'll never forget the moment when I was grocery shopping with my mom and, we're at Big Y, and I'm talking to one of the employees who are putting the produce stuff out. And I was telling her that, and I was telling her, you guys are real busy today. Apparently, she told me the word overreaction. And I was like, I don't blame her because everybody's panicking when they hear the word snow. It's like she told me it was like Armageddon. I'm like, it's like, and I told her it was also like Doomsday. Did somebody beat the hell out of what happened? Did somebody beat the hell out of Superman? And we're like, and I'm like, it's just that. The second they hear the word snow, everybody's in panic mode. So just press the panic mode button. Next thing you know, you go into panic mode when you hear the word snow. So, and like I said, I don't blame a lot of fellows who would love to go out, who would love to go down to Florida to get away from New England and just enjoy the warm weather that always has in store. That's always in store coming from Florida. So yeah. But today I'm making this poem video. I got a poem I had written last week, and I also read this at open mic night. This poem I want to read to you guys is based on the one concept that no one finds very entertaining, and that's trust. I'm not gonna lie, the word trust, when I hear it, the five-letter word just tells what happens when you put your faith and put your faith in the hands of someone that could help you make a change come to the door in a good way. But then there's the part where the individual always plays a part where he or she goes back on his or her word. Some don't go back on the word because they are very loyal. But others, they could care less about loyalty and want what they want for themselves. So you know what? Get ready as I read you this poem that's definitely based on the word trust. The name of this poem, based on trust, is called Allergic to Trust. You're going to love this as I read this to you all. And I did tell myself that in the beginning of this month, as it's almost coming to an end, I was going uncensored, so I always make good on my promise. Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, I'm going to read this poem to you guys, so get ready. Allergic to Trust by Denzel. Allergic to trust. Why am I allergic to trust? Many people end up going back on their word. Not to mention something gets damaged. Why am I allergic to trust? The cold world could care less about your ass, no matter what you try to do. Why am I allergic to trust? Because a bond gets broken with trust violated. You can sense an individual full of untrust, not to mention the word untrustworthy. Why am I allergic to trust? Say, and I quote, say, your confidentiality is out in the open, not fun to enjoy in a time like this. Why am I allergic to trust? Now get ready for this next one because I'm about to bring this in as ever. I will bring the next one in, so keep your ears open. Why am I allergic to trust? Because my ass, I repeat, because my ass has been burned before, when times were unforgiving, to tell the truth. Why am I allergic to trust? I will tell you why. Because I can see people right through them, which includes true colors being detected from their state of mind. That's right, you heard me, and I repeat, state of mind. Why am I allergic to trust? I do not trust individuals that come with no loyalty, even when they plead their case that makes no sense. P.S. I am allergic to trust. There you have it, my friends. That was the poem called Allergic to Trust. And if you would like me to read it one more time, I'd be glad to, so you all can get a reminder of what happens when you put your faith and trust in someone who you believe is loyal to you, but then who you believe will have your back and won't go back on his or her word. But then, like I said, always a part where someone could care less, and plays a part where loyalty ain't nothing to them. I'm going to read this one more time and then, end it right here. Allergic to Trust by Denzel Claus. Allergic to trust. Why am I allergic to trust? Many people end up going back on their word, not to mention something gets damaged. Why am I allergic to trust? The cold world could care less about your ass, no matter what you try to do. Why am I allergic to trust? Because a bond gets broken with trust violated. You can sense an individual full of untrust. Why am I allergic to trust? Say your confidentiality is out in the open, not fun to enjoy in a time like this. Why am I allergic to trust? Because my ass has been burned before, when times were unforgiving to tell the truth. Why am I allergic to trust? I will tell you why. Because I can see people right through them, which includes true colors being detected from their state of mind. Why am I allergic to trust? I do not trust individuals that come with no loyalty, even when they plead their case that makes no sense. P.S. I am allergic to trust. There you have it. That was the encore. I hope you guys learn what it means to be careful, and also what happens when you put your faith and trust in the hands of those you believe will have your back, even when it comes to loyalty. But then comes a part where the individual goes back on his or her word as ever. So keep your eyes open for that. Other than that, that ends about here on my poem video, number 242. You're more welcome to watch this as I read this twice, just to help you guys remember what happens when you put your faith and trust in someone you believe will have your back, but then he or she always goes back on his or her word. So yes. Other than that, I just want to say thank you for your time. If you plan on going somewhere like work today, please stay safe. I know I will, because this weather. I'm just waiting for spring to come to the door versus the hell versus over era coming to the door as always. So hoping spring comes next month. Other than that, I just want to say thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, more welcome to watch this as you watch me read the poem twice. So yeah. Other than that, my friends, take care and have a wonderful day.